18 and under ensemble.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Patrick Bracknell.
And I'm Catherine Benoit.
And we will be doing an excerpt from the first act of The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde.
You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to inform you that your name is not down on my list of eligible young men, though I have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I should be quite ready to enter your name, should your answers be what a truly affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Why, yes. I must admit I smoke.
I am glad to hear it. Men should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. Mr. Worthing, I am of the opinion that a man who desires to be married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate, exotic fruit. Touch it, and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious threat to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted of one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That's all that can be said about land.
Well, I have a house in the country, of course, with some land attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't rely on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only ones who can make anything of it.
A country house. How many bedrooms? Oh well, but that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a house in town, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Well, I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it is let by dear to Lady Blossom.
Lady Blossom. I don't know her.
Oh, she goes about very little. She is a lady considerably advanced in years.
Ah, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number, Belgrave Square?
149.
The unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
Well, I am afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us. Or come in the evening, at any rate. Now to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born in what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I'm afraid I really don't know. The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I had said I had lost my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I don't know who I am, my birth, I was found.
Found?
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of a very charitable and kindly disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
Where did the charitable gentleman with a first-class ticket for this seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yes, Lady Bracknell. I was in a handbag. A somewhat large, black leather handbag. With handles. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life which reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, the cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal some social indiscretion, has probably indeed been used for that purpose before now, but it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for an accepted position in good society.
May I ask then, what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say that I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible and to make a definite effort towards producing at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It's in my drawing room at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir. What has it to do with me? You could hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would allow our only daughter, a girl but